So hey besties, come with me and we are going to make some homemade green seasoning today. So first we're going to start off with some fresh garlic. And I don't know, is anybody else like me where they cut those little brown bottoms of the garlic off? Like every time I use garlic, I have to cut the brown pieces off. I just don't like them in there. Y'all comment down below and let me know if y'all do that as well. Next, we're going to go ahead and take one yellow onion and we're going to cut that into 4 big pieces. I'm going to take off both of the end pieces and then I'm going to cut it across and then across again so we have it cut in 4 squares, and then we're just going to go ahead and put that to the side. Now I'm going to be putting this in the blender, so that's why I'm cutting it up like this. If you don't have to cut yours up and yours can just go in your blender how it is, then y'all comment the name of y'all blender down below because I got to get me a new one, okay? After that, we're going to go ahead and get our red bell pepper. We're going to take the top off of it, take the seeds out on the inside, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut them up into 6 big chunks. And then we're going to go ahead and put it in the pan. We're going to remove as much of that white part as we can, put that to the side. And then we're going to go ahead and add it to our pan. All my veggies was washed off before I started cutting them up. I just didn't get that part on camera, but I definitely did wash all of them off before we're going to go ahead and blend them. Next, we're going to go ahead and cut up our green bell pepper. And my green bell pepper had 1 foot in the door and 1 foot out the door, as y'all can see. So I'm just going to take off the top part and then I'm going to work with the bottom part and I'm going to cut that up as well. And this is actually a great recipe if you're like me, because as you guys can see, my green bell pepper will have 1 foot out the door already. Sometimes when I go to the market, I buy too much produce, or I have plans to cook and I'm going to use up all my produce and I don't, and your produce ends up going bad. So to prevent your from going bad and to keep you from wasting your money, you can make you a green seasoning. You can put it in a jar and you will have your produce a lot longer, and you can also use it in any kind of dish that you're making. If you're doing chicken, if you're doing rice, if you're doing beans, turkey, beef, whatever you're cooking, you can add this seasoning right inside your meal. Seafood as well. After that, we went on ahead and cut us up some green onions or some scallions, whichever one you prefer. They're basically the same thing. The only difference between a green onion and a scallion is that little white bulb that's on the bottom of it. A scallion and a green onion has the same taste, same flavor. The only difference is the bulb on the bottom. After that, we're going to go ahead and get us some cilantro, and we're going to use that whole bush of cilantro. And what I like to do is leave the packaging on there so I can get as much of the stem off as possible. After I get the stem off, I'm going to go ahead and just put the leaves in there. You're not going to be able to get all the stems off, but I get as much as I possibly can. After that, we got us some fresh parsley, and I'm going to go ahead and use the whole bunch and do the same method, cutting it right by the rubber band so I can get as much as that stem off and just get the parsley leaves. After we got our parsley in the pan, we're going to go ahead and start working on our yellow bell pepper. I'm going to just put half in there, and then I'm going to use the other half when I make my fish, and I'm going to stuff it with some of those peppers that I have left over. Now, this is how all our ingredients look once we had everything prepared. And with this recipe, you can alter it to your liking. I've seen some people use Scotch bonnet in theirs. I'm not going to add anything spicy in mine because I have young children and they do not like spicy food. So for me, I would not add the Scotch bonnet, or if I wanted to make mine spicy, I would add the Scotch bonnet in a separate batch. I would make one spicy batch and one non-spicy batch. You can alter this recipe and do it whatever works for you and your family. You can add ingredients, take away, just use whatever you have. That's why I love this recipe, because it's so versatile. So I went on ahead and got me some grapeseed oil. I put that in my blender and I started adding in some of my herbs, and we're just going to blend it slow and steady, and you're going to continue to add your herbs, your peppers, your garlic, and everything in your olive oil to the thickness that you want. After I got it to the thickness that I want, the final step for me was putting in my thyme. I went on ahead, blended that up. I went and got me a jar, a mason jar that is airtight so we can store some in the refrigerator for cooking. And what was left over, I went on ahead and put it in an ice tray. We're going to freeze those and then put those in a Ziploc bag for later. And as always, if you guys are loving these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Make sure you leave me a like, drop a comment in the comment section and share this video out. Bye guys.